Wild Tea in the Spirit here, Tony Springer, signing some autographs. How's it going?
It's going fine, man. Just came back from a radio interview. Interviews. Don't be a rock star, man. Never get time to.
Because you don't have time to do nothing else except
nothing
interviews.
But interviews. Life's an interview. It's all right. I'm just kidding.
You played Old Canada on Q104 today.
Yeah, you know when I got to the radio station and before I was warming up with the amp and stuff, you know, I had this new amp and stuff, and I'm checking, and I just started playing Old Canada, and the guy goes, "Hey man, that's really cool." And I thought, you know, it's every Canadian now is so proud to be Canadian with the
right.
Winter Olympics and stuff. I mean, we kicking butt, man.
Kicking butt.
So yes.
Vancouver.
Yeah, baby. So I thought, what a beautiful thing to do. I mean, so I dedicated it to all the athletes and the troops in Afghanistan
right.
and stuff, right? So it was one of them things, man. It was beautiful. It was fun. I wish I had my amp there with I mean, this amp was some name that I don't even know, and it wasn't giving me the bite, but tonight we're doing the show, right? At Montes.
Montes in Dartmouth.
Yes, and tonight is going to be just wicked, I mean, with my own equipment.
What type of effects you use there on at the end of the solo for Old Canada?
Nothing. It's just I have this amp and just the amp and plug into the amp with my guitar.
There's a quite interesting feeling at the end of the solo.
I like to make something out of nothing. You know, like I mean, I see people. Nothing against anybody, but the new look for guitar players now is like you have the guitar player and they have a freaking pedal board.
Right.
Like this big, like it's like a freaking house. It's like an upstairs department. You get stairs to go down. It's like, so me, I just like the basics. I mean, like playing in a three-piece band. At least you still want colors and you still want to like be able to like. But I would never go for this big. I mean, it's ridiculous, man. It's like I see people that listen. It's like, what the hell? So all I got is I'm endorsed by this company from Australia called M1 Audio. MI Audio, I think is I'm endorsed. It's called a Blue Boy. It's like a distortion box. I have a Boss chorus, a wah-wah, of course. There's no life without being able to go wow, wow, wow with your guitar, right?
Yeah.
There's no life, so I have that, and I have a delay. That's it.
And you play mostly in mono with the chorus? Or
Yeah.
You're not going to the stereo?
Stereo. It's too much thinking, man.
Too much thinking?
The less things I have to worry about here, the more I can concentrate. Which, you know, playing and stuff, and you know. I mean, I have a whole bunch of pedals at home. There was one time I used to have like the Boss pedal board with like about 5, 6 pedals. I see people. And I mean, I was like that at one point. I was like that playing the guitar, and like you play the guitar, but you're more concentrated and you're more focused on what pedals.
Right.
And like, now I just want to like, just let me rip it up and get the feeling here, and then every once in a while I go, okay, I don't have to look at nothing, and the boys, like, I know it's like clink and stuff. So I just kind of, I try to keep it simple. That's what it's all about.
Do you find that today's guitar amps and because they're doing digital amps now, you notice that?
Yes.
Like even Fender are doing with the in-tunings and all that.
Yes,
what do you think of that change in tone much compared to the classic ones?
Well, you know, there's so much going around now. I mean, and that's why they're doing it to keep up with the competition, because new companies are coming out with other things that they discovered. So so Fender now to keep with it, they would have this. But I think ain't nothing like a good old freaking Fender Twin or a Super or Marshall. They got it right the first time. Nothing is gonna change. Once you get a good Twin with good tubes, a Marshall, it's like life is good.
Life is good.
You know. Other than that, like I mean, there's so much other stuff coming out. Thank God, it's good technology, yeah, but it's too much stuff, man. Too much stuff to twiddle and twiddle.
When you were playing in David Bowie there back in the day, how much control did you have on your guitar tone when you played with him? in what you
None
delivered?
at all. How
No.
much did he have?
Or you have?
Oh yeah, it was all me. Like, oh yeah, it was.
And then you could come up to David Bowie and suggest stuff.
Well, I mean, when I played with him, I had a Marshall 100-watt head, JCM, and 412 cabinet. And I mean, Bowie is like a guy. He's been around so long. All the guitar players he played had Marshalls.
Right.
He's one of these guys who knows Marshall. You can't go wrong once you got a Marshall. So like, he never even mentioned anything to me about tones or anything. Even when I played on a CD, I flew from Calgary to New York City, and before that, of course, we talked and stuff. And I remember they were asking me what I wanted to in the studio as far as amps and stuff. I just said a Marshall 100-watt head, 412 cabinet.
That's
I got there, it was in. I just went plugged it in. They put on the song. There was no mention about, well, can you get a different tone? And no, it's like, you know, it was great. But you know, the weird thing is when I got in there, there's a guy named Mick Ronson.
Great guitar player.
Yes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he died a few years ago. So I've been with Bowie for a long time, right? And when I walked in there, like, he was playing this gold, white Gibson semi-hollow guitar with gold inlays and stuff, and sounding like angels singing, man. And I just came from on tour with Wild Tea in the Spirit. And if you ever been to a Wild Tea show, you would know what I'm talking about, because when I'm finished with a guitar, the guitar is begging, no more. The guitar is like, I squeeze, I pick up microphone, I play like fiddle, I stick it up in the freaking ceiling, I go crazy and stuff. So I went to New York City with my busted up guitar,
right.
And Mick Ronson is playing this beautiful guitar, and I was feeling a little intimidated. So I remember that was the first time I went, David, think I can borrow his guitar? And Bowie was, he's such a gentleman, and so he's going, no, I got you for yourself, what, Tony, so be you, man. Whatever you got, you be yourself. And he was really nice like that.
So how was Mick Ronson when you met him? And you met him probably a few times in your life?
Yeah, he was cool. It's cool. He did the part, he played, and he's playing, as I say, like, sounding amazing. Then I met him, and he was okay. And I think, about a couple of years later, he was diagnosed with cancer or something, and he passed away a little while after that. So.
Yeah, David Bowie too. You ever meet Earl Slick?
No.
He was another guitar player for David Bowie.
Yeah, I know the name. You know who I met? When I met Bowie the first time, he was with a Tin Machine, and he had Soupy Sales or something.
Yeah, Soupy Sales.
His sons were playing. One was playing drums, one was playing guitar.
Okay.
Yeah, and I met them. And those guys, they're characters, man. I love musicians who are like these guys are characters. I remember them. The guitar player was playing a solo with Tin Machine, and he takes out the lights went down, and suddenly you hear this weird guitar sound, and you see this purple thing in his hand, and he's playing it on the guitar, and then they turn the lights back on. It's a vibrator.
A vibrator.
A freaking vibrator, man. I thought that was so cool. I love seeing stuff like that.
Who was doing that again?
The Soupy Sales,
okay.
One of the guys who was playing with Bowie with Tin Machine.
Okay.
That's when I first met Bowie. He was touring Canada with Tin Machine, and he was in Montreal one night performing, then coming to Toronto the next night. And while he was in Montreal doing a sound check, one of my videos came on. I had a video called Midnight Blues. Remember that one? Midnight Blues.
Was it on Much Music?
Yes.
Yeah. So
I had this video, and this video is, first of all, this video is still one of the best videos I've ever seen. Not just because it's mine, but it's like the guitar. You ever seen, like, you remember Star Wars where they have the Jedi fighting with the swords and then lit up? We put a certain thing on this guitar and dimmed the lights, and the freaking whole guitar was like a big glowing thing. It's like it was the Midnight Blues. So if you get a chance, check out Midnight Blues. It's on our website.
On YouTube also, probably.
Yes, on YouTube. You know, like it's a beautiful. So David Bowie he saw this video in Montreal and flipped out.
Probably seen it on TV.
Yeah, he saw it on TV. While he was doing a sound check, it was up in the,
Okay.
in the room like that, music playing and Music Plus.
Music Plus.
Music Plus.
In Montreal.
Yeah. And so he freaked out and got his agents and managers to call my people and tell me that he's coming to Toronto the following night to do a show, and he would like it if I can come down. He's leaving backstage passes and blah blah blah. So that's how I met him. So I went and saw the show, and it was, I mean, you know, Bowie, he's known for glamorous and the big glam thing. This Tin Machine thing was all stripped down. He's just in like a white t-shirt, no, like 4 lights on stage, white lights. It wasn't no big, bright, no big light show. And these guys were just playing music from their belly, man.
Right.
It was a beautiful thing.
The best place.
Oh
to play.
man, it was.
Yeah.
I remember them doing something, and I thought, I've tried it with my band, and I mean the novelty is kind of worn off, fading out of a song like an album. You know, you play and like how an album the song gets quieter. They were doing that with Tin Machine. I thought, what a freaking cool idea, man. Just like the record, just fade out. Just everybody gets quiet until there's nothing and the song's finished, as opposed to the big ending and the So I thought they were doing
the famous rock ending.
Yeah, the big windmills and the jumps. They were just fading. I thought it was really a beautiful thing.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So you're touring just East Coast right now?
Well, we are. This is our second gig, and this is the last gig.
Second gig and last gig.
Last night was the first one in St. John's, New Brunswick. And we just flew up to do these 2 gigs.
So is it mostly a weekend thing you do now? Or do you still play weekdays on tour also? Like when it gets busy?
When it gets busy, when we go on tour, like we go to Europe a lot.
Okay.
When we go there, we play all week. Monday to Monday, man. It's just beautiful.
How's the riders today? Like, are they keeping good riders compared to...
Man. Well, in Europe, there's no problem at all with that. I mean, when I go to Europe, when I come back to Canada, I'm like a big fat black man.
Oh, yeah?
I'm like, hey, man, I'm going like...
They fed you good?
Oh, yeah. And I'm like, the freaking, it's just, oh, man, schnitzel and... Just like I come back like going, man, I eat too much. I remember being over there and thinking to myself, I remember telling somebody, I haven't been hungry. Because sometimes, you know, at times in the day, you know, I'm kind of hungry, I can snack and stuff. I remember like going for 2 weeks going, I've been just up here and constantly refilling up and keeping filled up. That's how it is over there. There's always stuff to eat and people giving you stuff and fruit and healthy eating. It's not just junk.
Yeah.
So that's good. And yeah, we've always been treated well when we go on the road with riders because, I mean, me and the boys, we ain't excessive. We don't demand no big set of stuff, you know, just a couple of babes with big eyes. That's all we need. A couple of chicks. Big, you know, and that's it, man. That's it.
Big boobs and big ass.
Big boobs, big eyes, big boobs, big ass. And a couple of bottles of vodka.
per night, and that takes care of you.
Every night. 2 different babes with big, that's all we need, man. It's just, that can't be that tough.
That can't be too tough.
Yeah, it's all good.
So basically health is important when you're on tour.
Well, you know, yeah, you gotta be, man. I mean, I wouldn't say, I almost want to say like, you know, you gotta, it's an age thing, but it ain't, it's got nothing to do with age. I mean, like, the smarter you are about your life at a younger age, it's the better off you're gonna be anyway. Mm. You know, so I've always been kind of, I mean, I grew up in Trinidad, you know, lots of fruit and stuff. So I was always like, I've never been like a health nut, but I've always kind of kept, not really liking junky food too much. So of course I eat McDonald's and eat Kentucky and this stuff, but I know people that live on it and they just swear by it. I always try, you gotta keep healthy, man. This is like this is your temple, man. You gotta freaking clean it and, you know, make sure it's, just send a good vibe through it, man.
Right.
You know? You can't, if you abuse it, it's the only home you got. This is your home, your house, right? So
yeah, you have to take care of the house.
Take care of your house, man. If you know, you can't be too stupid, you know. Some people get it later in life, and sometimes it's too late. But you know, we try to keep healthy and stuff. I think it's important.
And now, let's say with volume, your hearing, how's that coming along? Because I mean, you've been playing for a long time with loud volumes.
You know, it's a weird thing that you say that, because I don't think it's loud. I have heard freaking guitar players that I go, holy shit, I love it, because I'm a guitar player, so it's never too loud for me anyway. But I've heard guys go, and I go, wow. Me, first of all, my hearing is still intact. I mean, I can hear pin drop, and thank God, I don't know if I'm some special being or something, but I've never been into the earplugs or stuff, but I don't expose myself to loud. I mean, if it's loud on stage, it's way back there. Yeah. It ain't coming at me. There's some. I remember sometimes in gigs and stuff, I decided to like save the audience, so I would kind of tilt the amp at an angle like this, you know, like some of these amps you can tilt them so it doesn't hit the audience, bang. Right, so it's coming, and sometimes I'm standing up here, and the amp is hitting me, and I'm going, holy shit, man, wow. Yeah. You know, you feel, and I just go, man. That happened to me but once. I went, man, I can't. That doesn't feel right, you know. And so I have no problems with hearing and shit, man. You know, that doesn't bug me. Well,
that's good then.
Yeah,
you know. Because you heard all the stories like Pete Townsend and all them.
Eric Clapton, all these guys, you know, like.
They can't hear too good.
It's a weird thing because people, you know, people always like, they relate to me with Jimi Hendrix and stuff. Right. And lots of times people go, what do you think Jimmy would be doing now if he was alive? And first thing I go, he'd be freaking deaf.
That's true.
I mean, Jimmy was like, I mean, you know. Back in them days, the PA system wasn't that big, but the amps they had, right? Like just blaring. These guys, that's why Eric and these guys, they all screwed up.
Double Marshall stacks and back then.
Oh man, double, triple cranks.
Yeah.
Now, even I mean, I've met fans from way back when Wild T first came out, and they went, man, we came to a Wild T show and we loved it so much, but our ears were ringing for a week. But it wasn't me. It wasn't my amp, it's the PA system. Yeah. Right? It's so big, and the sound guy was just kicking it up. But on stage, I've always tried to, try to be reasonable, man. You know, as a guitar player, you still want it to be, it's got to be a certain way. I played clubs, and club owners or soundmen go, man, it just happened to me somewhere the other day. I get it all the time. Oh man, the guitar is too loud. Yeah. Sometimes, depending on what mood I'm in, I go, fuck you. Either that, or I'd go, okay, man, all right, no problem, I got you. And I'd go and turn it up. I don't even tell them. And those idiots are going, oh, it's perfect now. And I'm going, so I disregard when people tell me my amp is too loud. I go, you don't know me. You want me to, would it please you if I turn my arm down and I can't hear, I can't feel what I'm doing, and then I'm playing hard, then I'm busting guitar strings, that would make you happy, right? So I don't even tell them that, I just go, it's too loud, okay, no problem. All right, I'll fix it.
Let's put a reverse on that.
I just don't even get into arguing and wasting energy. I go, I understand you think it's too loud, yeah, okay.
That's like an old soundman's trick too sometimes.
Yes.
They sometimes change. You want something more, they give you less.
Yeah, exactly. And next thing, yeah, that's good. And they're going, So I know people they do that with guitar players all the time. Yeah. And for some weird reason, bass players and drummers, they don't get it as much. It's just I think it's something with the guitar frequency or something, I don't know. You know, we have a heavy burden to bear, us guitar players, man. Yeah. It ain't easy. It ain't easy being a rock star, baby.
Yeah. Well, you're doing a good job at it. Tony, it's been a pleasure talking.
Thanks a lot, Jason.
Your source of information is endless.
Thank you, brother.
It's like you studied the arts of rock guitaring all your life.
Well, I like to say I was born, before I was born, I was in my mother's womb playing my umbilical cord, man.
You said that the last interview. That's awesome.
I was down there getting it together, baby.
Yeah, that's awesome. Tony, pleasure.
Thanks a lot, man.
Tony Springer Part 2 here. Now, you played in Rough Trade towards the end of their career.
Yes. What happened, I played with Carol Pope and Rough Trade for 2 years until the end of the band. And I played on their last CD. And when I was playing with them, I was just out of the Jimi Hendrix thing. I played a Jimi Hendrix tribute, Fire, right? And going... And then the Rough Trade, it's like...
New wave stuff.
No, just like it's this one song, there's no guitar until halfway in the song. And I'm going, what the hell am I going to do standing here? And I went, you know what? It's so good to learn discipline in life. From being crazy and to just be, I started being, you know, so one side of the spectrum to the other. And it was so neat, man. Their songs, I got so into Rough Trade songs. I would find myself singing these songs that I never heard before. They're so beautiful songs and so well recorded. I did High School Confidential on one of my CDs. I have a CD called True Bliss, and we did High School Confidential. That's one of Carol's songs. We got Carol to come and sing a verse and a chorus in it and stuff. So that was a great experience, Rough Trade. But you know what, the Rough Trade thing is weird being in Halifax, because the first gig I did with them was at the Misty Moon.
Misty Moon, the old Misty Moon.
Yes, and with Rough Trade. But 2 months before I was up here doing my Hendrix thing. And we got to the Misty Moon, and there's about 20 people, fans of me, from the Hendrix, sitting in front going, and we're doing Carol Rough Trade, and they're going, play some Hendrix! And I'm going, and then after we did the last Carol Pope song, for the encore, they were going, Jimmy! And they go, oh God. I was so embarrassed. And Carol Pope, she's being so nice, she goes, well, why don't you go and play Hendrix? I go, no, I'm working for you. You know, I wouldn't disrespect that. So.
Yeah. You've got the burden of playing Hendrix the rest of your life now.
I know. It's not a bad place to be.
No, but Hendrix was a good man too.
I know. I mean, he's an inspiration. Up to this day, somebody that can inspire people through life and generations of life. He's got there's something there, man.
Tony Springer,
There's something
awesome
there.
guitarist,
Thanks.
Wildly in the spirit. Keep the tradition going, man.
Right on, baby.